Now, we got a great response to our item on Tuesday's show about travelling around the world solo. It seems a lot of people prefer to travel unaccompanied, and one of them is on the line now. Olive Costello, good morning.
Morning, John.
And just tell us about your travelling, Olive, and how it led to you travelling on your own.
Okay, myself and my husband travelled a lot together, and 10 years ago when I was 62, he decided, for many reasons, health and lots of other things, he didn't want to do this anymore. So I thought, well, no really, I still do. So I was visiting my daughter in Australia, and I decided, here goes, and I got a plane up to Cairns in North Australia, and I stayed in a hostel, and I pushed myself to go scuba diving, cycling around the rainforest, etc., etc. But I was so used to travelling with my husband, who is very good at money changing, very good at sense of direction, very good at everything, that I found myself desolate in the beginning. I'm thinking, what am I doing? I got lost in Cairns. Not a good place to get lost. I didn't want to do the things I was pushing myself to do. But gradually, I've kind of evolved things to help me, if you're interested to hear very quickly.
Sure.
Like, I always know where I'm going when I leave a hotel or hostel or whatever. I have a plan in my head or written on my hand because I've no sense of direction. So I know where I'm going. I look at my hand. I don't want to look like a confused old lady wandering around. So I know where I'm going. And then in Cairns, when I got lost, I didn't know where I was staying. So imagine trying to explain to a taxi driver, well, it's a hostel out the country somewhere. So now I always carry written on my person, not enough in my phone, written where I'm staying. And the third one is I study intently the money of wherever I'm going. So I'm not going around looking like an idiot again, wondering how much is this worth, what's the value, look at that silly old woman. So I always work it out to the nth degree because I fell really foul of that in Bali, and I was there with a local girl, and I got €400 out of the cash thingy, and it came out, it was a wheelbarrow load full of money. I was so embarrassed. So, because I made a mistake in my calculations, so now I don't make mistakes anymore. I always know where I'm going.
What was the mistake in your calculation?
I multiplied by 100 instead of 10 or something. I have no sense of maths or anything. So, it was so embarrassing. I will never make that mistake again.
And Olive, it's about you're travelling on your own now for about 6 years.
10 years now.
10 years. And have you had any scary episodes?
Okay, very scary. I headed off to Mexico. I was meeting my son in a few days' time. He had been doing something else. And I found myself on a plane going to Mexico with an enormous rucksack because I wanted to be cool and not have a draggy bag. I couldn't get it up on my back. I was 66 at this stage. And I kept dropping my passport, dropping my things. And I arrived in Mexico City at 3 a.m. And then I had to get a taxi to the hotel, which had been booked. So I finally found the official taxi, managed all my stuff into it, got to the hotel, and they didn't speak any English, obviously, and I haven't got great Spanish. So they said, no, I'm sorry, madam, we've no booking for you. I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? So eventually they could see I was absolutely distraught, and they said, okay, in Spanish again, we'll let you stay until the morning, and we'll sort that out. So my son came along in the morning looking like, I don't know what, Harrison Ford or something, with a big hat and the rucksack with wonderful Spanish, and he sorted that out. And again, on the same trip, I was meeting my brother and sister in Santiago de Chile, and I was on my own again, and exactly the same thing happened. I drove up to a hotel in a taxi. I got out of the taxi at 3 o'clock in the morning, banged on the door. Nobody came to the door, and it was a really dark, awful part of Santiago. And for a look, the taxi driver waited to see how I was going, even though I hadn't given him a tip, because it was €40 or something, and I was incensed. So I'm banging for half an hour on the door, and eventually a little old man comes out again in Spanish or something. I don't know what he was saying. He said, no, and he tried to close the door in my face, and I got no, please, senor, let me in. So eventually, again, the same story. Because I was arriving during the night, the booking went wrong. And so those were two really scary moments.
Yeah, I'm not sure if your husband is following your fortunes from home. I'm not sure listening to you now, he'd be very reassured.
Not at all. He doesn't mind. Whatever. No, he doesn't worry
doesn't
about
mind.
me.
He doesn't mind you being gone.
No, not at all. No, he's doing his own thing. He's actually growing grapes in Spain.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, I was beginning to feel sorry for him there for a moment.
No, not at all. No.
He's growing grapes in Spain. That sounds fun. I thought he wasn't interested in travelling anymore.
No, not anymore. He's staying where he is, in that spot.
I see.
And I'm kind of pushing myself. But not only am I doing it, but I'm determined, because my mother died at 62, I'm determined to push myself. So move on to, I went around New Zealand in the backpackers bus with all these young kids, and I'm now 66, and they were very nice to me. And we stayed in all the hostels, and I talked to who I wanted to, or I didn't as I wanted to, but I pushed myself to do the things I'm terrified of. Jumping out of a plane, swimming with dolphins, swimming with sharks, whatever. I've decided, God bless my mother, 62, and she was gone. So I'm really filling up all this time now. And I'm wondering what I can do next. So if anybody has any ideas.
Yes, please, text us.
I've been to the Galapagos Islands. I've swum with sharks and turtles and whatever. And I want something and I've done sandboarding in Peru. Now, that was scary.
Oh, sandboarding. You have to do the sandboarding. Was it very scary? And what exactly do you do in that?
Okay, you get on a snowboard, you go up to the top of a sand dune, you tuck yourself in, you lie down face down on the snowboard, you tuck yourself in everywhere, and I'm terrified of heights, and a man says, are you ready to go? Lista, and you say, no, si, and he pushes you down at great speed, down this thing, God, I have no idea what speed.
Right.
No protective gear, no nothing, they're quite careless of people in South America. If you're going to do it, well,
yeah, just do it. Just do it there. Don't be worrying about it.
Really
how long are you away then? Are you away
for? That time I was away for a month. But I've been kind of grounded for 3 years now for family reasons, so I haven't done anything. So I'm kind of up and ready now to find something else to do and somewhere else to go.
And if our listeners have any suggestions, they might.
I would be really happy, honestly.
But you don't want companions travelling with you?
Well, a like-minded one I wouldn't mind. Obviously, most of my friends think I'm nuts and wouldn't come with me. So
I wonder why. I wonder why.
Now, I do ordinary holidays. I walk with my brother and sister, so we've done the Spanish Camino and the Portuguese Camino. And we're going in August to walk up in the Arctic Circle, where it'll be all day sunshine for the whole day in August. So, I do those I would consider ordinary things, but...
And do you head back to Spain then and assist in the
Oh, no, I live here. No, I live here.
Okay. Well, listen.
I have 11 grandchildren here.
I see. So you're plenty busy between the trips. Well, Olive, thank you very much for joining us.
Okay.
That's
thanks,
Olive Costello there filling us in.